Ocarina of Time is considered to be one of the greatest games in history. Soon to be remade this year, I decided to take on a challenge that almost feels impossible. The rules to this challenge are pretty simple. Every enemy throughout the game is completely random, besides any enemy that is considered a boss. Every enemy has completely random sizes ranging from tiny little ants to towering monsters. This includes boss enemies as well. Also, the enemies can be invisible, and I don't know why. Every enemy in the game moves and attacks 2 times as fast as a normal enemy. This includes bosses as well. I am required to beat the game after completing every dungeon and obtaining their respected medallions. Intentional glitches are not allowed, and I can only have 3 hearts. Now that you know the rules to this challenge, I will be telling you the story about my adventures in Ocarina of Time. Starting off from where we left off last time, Zelda left us with a mission to obtain the remaining 2 spiritual stones. Input tells us to head towards Death Mountain as the next stone we need is there. Instead of that though, I decide to pay a visit to my future wife at Lon Lon Ranch, which is in fact Malon. Malon is going to teach us Epona's song, which will be very useful later on. I then find Malon's father sleeping on the job once again. He tells us about his 3 special Cuckoos and that if I can catch all 3 of them, he will give us something good. I play his game and I manage to catch all 3 of them. He then asks me if I would like to marry Malon, which I gladly accept, and then he gives me a bottle of milk. The milk itself is not what is important here, but the bottle itself. This bottle will be one of the most crucial items for this entire run, and you will see why later on. We then head to our next destination, which is Kakariko Village. Here is where we will use that letter that Zelda gave to us to show the guard who is guarding the gate that leads to Death Mountain. He ends up opening the gate for us, and we finally head our way to Death Mountain. Finally arriving at Death Mountain Trail, we're attacked by a couple of stragglers, but there was nothing crazy that I couldn't handle. After this, I make my way to Goron City. Here is where we'll finally get to talk to Darunia, who is the king of the Gorons. He tells us that he is really angry and to get out of his face. To get Darunia to talk to us, we're gonna need to learn a new song. For that, we're gonna have to head to the Lost Woods. Arriving at the Lost Woods, we are interrupted by that one Zelda theme that always makes my ears bleed. He tells us that this is a sacred place where we will find the Sacred Forest Meadow. We Matrix Neo past his minigame, and then he leaves. We make our way to the Lost Woods, arriving at the Sacred Forest Meadow, and then we are attacked by this wolf. I'm not gonna lie, this wolf was pretty annoying to fight, forcing me to use my most powerful weapon against him, the Deku Stick. With that, we were able to defeat the wolf. I end up flying through this maze, and finally arriving at the Sacred Forest Meadow, which is where we find Sarah singing the song that we've been following this entire time. She teaches us how to play her song, and then we leave. But before we leave, we make our way towards a close-by fairy fountain. This is where that bottle we got from Lon Lon Ranch will become very useful. If we die with a fairy caught in one of our bottles, it will instantly revive us. But since I already had milk on me that gave us basically 2 full heals, I decided not to take a fairy at this very moment, but I will be back. On my way out of the Lost Woods, we are yet again stopped by this damn owl who doesn't know how to shut up. He tells us nothing important. I power slide past his minigame, and then he leaves. On my way out of the Lost Woods, I find his minigame, and I do it for some extra ammo for my slingshot. Finally arriving back at Goron City, we come over to Darunia, and we sing that song for him that we just learned. And now that he's super happy that we cured his depression, he gives us the Goron bracelets that will allow us to pick up bomb flowers. He then tells us to head to Dodongo's cavern, which is exactly what we do. Upon entering Dodongo's cavern, we're completely harassed through the walls, leaving me with no choice but to reset the room. Finally being able to blow up the wall, we are able to enter our second dungeon. Now I'm gonna be honest and say that this dungeon wasn't very hard. I only had like 3 instances where I almost actually died, which I will show you now. Yo. Oh my god, what am I supposed to do against? Oh my god. Okay, I need to drink this immediately or I'm gonna die. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, this is so stupid. I can't do anything. I'm just getting destroyed. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't even lock onto this idiot. Okay, I think I got him. Oh my god, these things are here too? Yeah, freaking get out of there. He's getting bigger and bigger. Oh, we got him. Oh my god. Now I can't lie and say that this fight was not a nightmare. I'm locked in a room with a guy that can literally one-shot me. Not only that, but since he can move 2 times faster and attack 2 times faster, it is extremely hard not to get one-tapped by this guy. So for the absolute safest route, for 5 minutes, I sat here and ran around the map placing bombs for him to walk into until I was able to weaken him enough to actually kill him. Oh my god. He's freaking running at me. Oh my god, thank god. Thank god was right, because I had chills shivering down my spine after fighting that guy. After this, though, I almost died to these little two clowns that I had to fight. Extremely annoying, just jumping all around, just constantly hitting me, even hitting me through my shield at times, but I was able to fend them off. Actually so cringe. Making my way through the dungeon, I finally acquired the bomb bag, which allows us to hold up to 20 bombs on our own, which also allows us to open the final part of the dungeon, allowing me to jump down to make my way to the final boss of... Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention about that fall damage modifier. Any fall damage I take, no matter how high it is, I will instantly die every time. This doesn't really make the challenge much harder, but it's more just of an annoying nuisance. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not going to expect what you're about to see, as it's one of the most terrifying things I have ever seen in this game. No way, he's actually that small. He's like a little baby. Oh my god, but he shoots crazy though. I can't lie, this was an absolute treat to be had. But with that, this boss was an absolute joke still, and I was able to defeat him my first try. With that, I was summoned by the goddesses of Hyrule, which sent me over to Darunia, who decides to body slam me on entering, and finally giving me the second spiritual stone that we so desperately needed. With that, he tells us about the fairy that's hanging around Death Mountain that can power us up. After that, his goons decide to jump me, but I managed to escape with my life. Now, this is where this video comes to an end, but this is still only just the beginning. There are still plenty of more parts to this adventure, and I can't wait for all of you to see it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your days.